KADARIUS Toney on Thursday night for the season opener against the Lions was targeted by Patrick Mahomes 5 times, had 1 reception for 1 yard, and 3 game-changing drops. Now to start this breakdown, I want to say fuck Mike Tirico for saying this when the clock hit triple zeros.
This has an asterisk because of no Chris Jones and no Travis Kelce.
I already knew people were probably going to say things like this, but to say it on the broadcast is foul. Additionally, the Lions were without Emmanuel Mosley, Isaiah Buggs, Jameson Williams, but I bet none of that would have been brought up if the Chiefs won this game. And if we're putting asterisks on wins, how about we put a big fat one on the Chiefs' last Super Bowl? We all know that wasn't holding, wasn't even a catchable ball. Mahomes points, gets the call, Chiefs win the Super Bowl because of that play right there. And putting the asterisk on the Lions win because the Chiefs were without 2 players, Travis Kelce and Chris Jones. First off, it's not my fault Chris Jones is a bitch. Mans is asking for way too much money. But NFL teams being without players due to injury during the regular season and postseason is a consistent thing for every single team. Last year, the Lions had a terrible problem with injuries. Players were out every single week, and I never heard anyone put an asterisk on a win when the Lions lost because the Lions were without multiple star players. And the last thing before I start the breakdown, KADARIUS Toney deleted his Twitter account after the game. I don't blame him. It is kind of ironic this happens after he has so much trash talk with the Giants this past offseason. In the voice messages KADARIUS Toney sent to some random person on Twitter arguing with them is absolutely absurd. Then KADARIUS Toney claims he got hacked, but if you listen to the voice memos, I'm not going to play them here because they're pretty foul. If you listen to them and then you listen to an interview with KADARIUS Toney, they sound pretty similar. The first play we're looking at comes a few minutes into the second half. It's 3rd and 6. Mahomes drops back. KADARIUS Toney is coming across the field. The ball goes right through his hands. It's scooped up with one hand by Brian Branch, and he takes it to the house for a 50-yard pick 6 to tie the game at 14 in his first ever NFL game. Dan Campbell can't believe it. The defense is going crazy. This was the most exciting play of the game. It's just straight pain here for Patrick Mahomes. Not his fault. Joseph is hyping up Branch. Joseph owned Rodgers in his rookie season. Now Branch owns Mahomes. Not really. It was also funny throughout this game. You could just see Branch's bright green mouthpiece flop around the whole game on his helmet. I saw some people complaining about it, saying that he needs to put it in. This is just a gift from the heavens for Branch. You can see him drop back into his zone. Toney comes across right through his hands. Nice pickup with his right hand, and he takes it to the house. I do wonder though, if Toney would have caught this, would Branch have delivered a huge hit like he did in the preseason? Enough about Branch though. Toney, man, this is just right through his hands. It can't get any worse than that. The next one comes towards the end of the 3rd quarter. Toney comes across the field again, in his hands, and drops it. The announcers talk about Toney looking distracted during this drop. I almost wonder if Richie James coming right in front of Toney while the ball is thrown messed him up a little bit. It's a simple crossing route, and Richie James comes right in front of Toney before the ball gets to him. Now, drops like this in the NFL are inexcusable, but I believe that's partly the reason why he dropped it. And the play that everybody's talking about, 1st and 10 from the Chiefs 45, Mahomes slings it downfield to Toney, and he drops it. Down by 1 with under 3 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Probably pissing his pants a little here. Millions of people just watched him drop that ball. Mahomes can't believe it again. Now, one thing I haven't seen mentioned or talked about at all was that this ball was slightly underthrown from Mahomes. Again, inexcusable drop, but that ball was a bit underthrown, and you can't help but think it's a little bit on Mahomes there. Just watch the Lions sideline. Everyone instantly puts their hands straight up in the air. They can't believe that he dropped that. Big sigh of release from Dan Campbell. Huge game-changing play. The following play, 2nd and 20. Great play by Gardner Johnson to break up the pass. 3rd and 20. Game on the line. The Lions rush 6. Mahomes tosses it downfield in a missed interception by Gardner Johnson. The second one of the game. There was a play earlier where he hesitated and could have had a pick. 4th and 20. Jawan Taylor finally gets called for the offensive false start. If you couldn't tell already, I'm a Lions fan, and when he got called for this one, I was just screaming at my TV, call it. Finally, the refs called it. All game, Jawan Taylor was early. All game. And I don't blame him. I'd be scared if I was going up against that Lions defensive line, how they played last night. And on 4th and 25, Mahomes scrambles, tosses it up, and it tips off Sky Moore's hands. I can't believe Andy Reid elected to go for it on 4th and 20 and 4th and 25. I just think 4th and 25, just a safer play, in my opinion, is to punt it downfield and just hope your defense can get a stop. Now, when this happens, the Lions have the ball deep in Chiefs territory. The defense is going out there with just not much momentum at all. And no matter what, the Lions have a scoring opportunity. A field goal for the Chiefs does not take the lead anymore. And then in addition to Toney's 3 drops, the Chiefs also had 2 other partial drops. This one by Sky Moore on 3rd and 4. A huge overthrow by Mahomes. I'm on the fence of if this is a drop or not by Sky Moore. It definitely was high. I just feel like he maybe could have got that. I don't know. And then another 3rd down, 3rd and 2. McKinnon drops this one. Now, I don't think he was getting the first down. He was definitely getting tackled, but still a drop. Then after the game in Mahomes' presser, it was good to see him defend Toney. That's what you want to see out of your teammate. Otherwise, if he talked down on him, that confidence would probably never be restored for Toney.
What do you say to KADARIUS Toney after a game where it could have swung a different way if he was involved in some of that?
Yeah, I mean, I've trust in KT. He missed a lot of training camp. Obviously, he wanted to play and fought rehab hard so he could play. And stuff's not always going to go your way. Obviously, he would have wanted to catch a few of those in the game, but I've trusted he's going to be that guy that I go to in those crucial moments, and he's going to make the catch and win us some seasons like he did last year. So we're going to continue to work him in, get him more and more reps, and I'm sure that those drops will kind of disappear.
That's going to be the end of this breakdown. Huge win for the Lions. No asterisks on this win. The Lions are heading back to Ford Field 1-0 with a ton of momentum. If you enjoy my content, I would really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And once again, as always, thanks for watching.